Hello, people. I am Márcia Cristina, author of the books Ethics in Workplace and Ethical Conduct and Corporate Sustainability. Welcome to my channel. Here, we want to draw attention to the need of ethical conduct for the evolution of society, especially in workplaces that are still hostile. And that's why today I'm going to talk about pressure at work. Does it happen to you? Pressure is present in the lives of everyone who performs any activity paid by third parties. You have to do it right, always. You have to meet deadlines. You have to achieve goals. You have to keep an appointment. You have to be creative. You have to be in a good mood every day. You have to be dressed appropriately. You have to increase productivity. You have to keep up to date with the new technologies.
And you also have to break the rules, the laws, or go against your moral integrity.
What? Oopsie! And now, do what the boss says or obey your ethical conscience. Okay, let's start with the honest requests. Are business leaders and employers wrong to push the results and performance? I'm assured not. Whoever hires a person is investing in satisfying a need, and that need requires to be met to pay off the investment. It's logical. So it's natural to push for the good quality of work, isn't it? When the work meets and even exceeds expectations, it's common for the person to receive a compliment. This means satisfaction for everyone, workers and contractors. The pressure happens when the contractors realize the risk of his expectations are not being met. Hence the push. The question is, what is the level of demand established by the company? Is it a level compatible being performed by a professional, a human being, who works because they need to fulfill family and social commitments and also need to sleep, to eat, have some fun? Does the company board take into account that the employees have other activities to perform in their personal life? Well, each person's capacity for dedication, speed of work, and skills vary enormously. That's why this becomes subjective. In addition, new aspects such as competitiveness, that is, if you don't do, another person can do it, or the issue of competition. If one company doesn't meet the needs of the customer, another one can. There is also the desire of many to progress in their careers, to seize positions that guarantee higher remuneration, which would bring more comfort and opportunities to the worker and their families. So the framework is created. It fits the stress caused by pressure, which is often imposed by the professionals themselves. They don't even need the boss. For example, pressure to learn a new language, to graduate, master's, doctorate, to keep the team motivated, to be a good boss, being a good son or daughter, husband, wife, sometimes father and mother at the same time. Pressure to be a good friend, and still to be up to date with social media. Oh, sure, you still need to get organized to take care of your fitness and find time to take care of your spirituality and participate in community philanthropic activities and social gatherings. Just speaking made me tired, serious. And let's not forget that a lot of what I said costs money. So you need to make more money. The truth is that we are all immersed in a world of obligations, duties, and opportunities that we are responsible for fulfilling. Now, let's see another situation. Surrounded by all this pressure, your best clients, or your boss, or anyone else asks you to do something simple, almost imperceptible, but capable of easing some of these obligations, especially keeping your position, getting promoted, or earning an extra commission. Who never had to lie because the boss asked to say that he wasn't there? A simple lie, normal even. Nothing that deserves special attention. If the boss asks to change a date on a document because a large customer of the company needs to fake that the order was placed on the date when the price was lowest or at the most favorable exchange rate. Do you change the date or miss the sale? Do you lie or you don't lie? This will compromise the profitability of the business, change the date. In other words, to meet the client's interests and meet the established goals, the interests of those who pay the salary, the company, your employer, will be in the background. Of course, it's necessary to consider the proportionality of the established goals. If the company determines goals that are above the market potential or unrealistic deadlines and does not offer of adequate structure, or it's not as good as its competitors, whether in product quality or price, things get more difficult. Being pressured to perform above reason is even stressful and openings for the employee to seek unethical shortcuts as to meet the expectations. Companies that do these kinds of things usually don't mind how the business was done. That's the truth. GBES Global Business Ethics Survey carried out by Ethics and Compliance Initiative found in 2020 survey that only 12% of the employees who were not in a manager role were pressured to carry out activities that compromised the company's ethical standards. But 63 of the middle management positions and 51% of senior management positions said they were pressured by leadership not to accomplish internal standards. Yeah. In other words, the unethical behavior starts at the top of the company's decision making, which determines the company's ethical culture. Interesting, isn't it? I think it is very, very. It's clear what many leaders want.
Ethics is good to protect my business from possible risks. But this code of ethics doesn't have to complicate my life, dictate my behavior, or the way I think business should be done. It is valid for others or for the market to perceive my company as ethical, but not to prevent me from doing what I want the way I want.
Is it or isn't it? Unfortunately, the volume of people pressure not to comply with the standards has increased significantly since 2017. On the other hand, the number of people who claim to work in companies with a strong ethical culture has doubled in the last 20 years, at least for companies based in the United States. Well, it is at least a hope. It's clear that companies are increasingly concerned about business ethics, but at the same time, leaders have started to put more pressure on their teams not to comply with ethical standards. This confirms the main source of the lack of commitment to the ethical culture. Yes, the leadership. Unfortunately, the pandemic worsened this situation. The conclusion is that companies are investing heavily in controls, but not is also to invest in developing leaders' ethical awareness. One data I was happy to see in this survey was that the 1,000 employees surveyed in Brazil revealed that the number of people reporting that they observed unethical conduct jumped from 64% in 2015 to 79% in 2020. This shows that ethically conscious people are taking the courage to report inappropriate behavior. While pressure for results is a natural practice, excessive pressure for accomplishing is one of the main causes of emotional illness that has affected many people. I have been emphasizing the constant increase in cases of the burnout syndrome. I'll let the video about this in the card. Even worse is the pressure to compromise the ethical standards set by the company itself. Can you imagine what it's like to be pressured to act in a way that hurts your conscience, your moral integrity? I think it's horrible. I understand that this kind of pressure to compromise rules and laws is worse because it includes the concern about the possibility of being reported or caught and consequently punished. Destroying your reputation for wrong decisions that came out of your own mind is hard, but answer for having followed the guidance of a person you, in theory, should obey. Wow. So I warn you, never obey orders that are clearly unethical, dishonest, or that could harm your moral integrity. The risk of you answering for the wrong decisions of others is great. Also, don't be angry when a boss pressures you to do the work you were hired to do with the expected quality and on time. You would certainly do the same in their position. If the pressure goes beyond the reasonable limit and becomes stressful to the point of compromising your health, either by the way it is done or by the inability to deliver what is being asked, better start looking for another job. Only you can know the limit of your capacity, availability, and endurance. The choice is yours. The consequences life brings. So, if you like this video, remember, subscribe the channel, share, and tell me if you like it or not. Bye-bye, people. Take care with the pressure that yourself do to you. Bye-bye.